journey began in Australia's sophisticated and cosmopolitan city of Melbourne, a city that has successfully managed to blend the best of the old world with the brightest of the new, where modern skyscrapers sit alongside the city's elegant 19th century architecture, which is carefully preserved by Heritage Victoria. Now, the city of Melbourne is the second largest city in Australia with a population of about 3.5 million people. And much of the city has retained its European influence and architecture. And a fine example can be seen behind me, Flinders Street Station, which was built in the early 1900s. And the 1.5-2-hour drive out of town will have you in the Victorian countryside. You can then visit the wineries, see the spectacular coastal scenery, and see some of Australia's unique wildlife. Melbourne's wide and welcoming streets make exploring easy, and I walked past the international fashion houses of Collins Street in the heart of town and on to the lively outdoor cafe scene in the lanes and arcades of the city centre. My base camp in Melbourne was the luxurious Westin Hotel, and it was from here that I headed to the countryside for my first adventure at one of Victoria's most colourful attractions. Victoria State Rose Garden at Werribee Park is just 30 minutes drive south from Melbourne, and it's here in a wonderful splash of colour that you can come and explore 200 different rose varieties, beautifully laid out in 140 garden beds. And the rose garden's wonderfully maintained by Parks Victoria with an army of volunteers who come in on Saturdays. The rose garden is in bloom from November to May, and right next door lies Werribee Park Mansion, one of Australia's great old homesteads, set on 10 hectares where you can experience the magnificence and grandeur of Australia's pastoral heritage. Werribee Park's impressive Italianate mansion and formal European-style gardens highlight the opulent lifestyle of the Victorian squatters at the peak of their power in the 19th century. A lifestyle brought to life on a colourful stage of gardens and spacious lawns by actors dressed in period costume. Nice. If you follow the curve of Port Phillip Bay south from Melbourne, you reach one of the city's favourite getaways, the Mornington Peninsula, home to 150 wineries.
So which one's this one?
That's the wooded Chardonnay, the 98, Red Hill Chardonnay.
So this is an award winner as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
2 gold medals.
And we visited one of the most picturesque, the Red Hill Estate, winner of the 1998 Australian Tourism Award for Top Winery. It's a cool climate wine growing area, famous for its Chardonnay and Pinot Noir wines. Now, here at the Red Hill Estate, we're only an hour's drive from the vibrant city of Melbourne. You can come here and you can enjoy some wine tasting in the cellar, dine on the fine local produce in Max's restaurant, and then take in the wonderful views over Western Port Bay. The strawberries of Sunny Ridge Farm also love the cool climate of the Mornington Peninsula, and you can choose from a selection of homemade wines, liqueurs and strawberry toppings, or head into the fields where row upon row of ripe strawberries of the Adena, Silver and Pajaro varieties are waiting to be picked and sampled.
So Nicole, we're right in season of strawberries, aren't we?
Yeah, we're just beginning.
When's the season run?
We start from November and the season extends all the way to April.
So people can come and pick their own strawberries?
Absolutely. Yep.
Tell me what happens. You get a basket.
You get a basket, they can go out into the fields, they can sample a few. We've got a few different varieties that they can choose from.
Great.
They have to bring back half a kilo, and then we weigh them at the end, and they go home with a nice big basket of strawberries.
And a big smile on their face.
Absolutely.
At the Gunnamatta Trail Rides, there are 30 horses ready to be matched with riders of all abilities and ages. And I climbed aboard and followed my guide and instructor Debbie Holcroft for an unforgettable 2-hour trail ride through the bush and along the beach. The ride takes you first through scenic woodland, where you can practice your balance and hone your riding skills. And then on through the sparse coastal vegetation, and out onto the yellow sands of the spectacular and exposed beach of Gunnamatta, also a popular and challenging surfing break.
Now what's incredible about this, we're only an hour and a quarter from Melbourne. You come down through the bushland, over the dunes, and you get down onto a deserted, pristine beach like this. It's quite incredible. So Debbie, first timers catered for with your trail rides?
Oh, absolutely. People who have never ridden before in their lives, or if you've ridden every day, we can find the right horse for you and your ability.
Yeah.
And if you're nervous or you've never ridden before, we can, teach you how to get a good seat and rise to the trot and even give you a canter on the beach.
So we've got the walk, the trot, and then the little canter.
That's right.
Well, we've had a little bit of all of those, haven't
Yeah,
we
we
today?
have.
It's been quite fun.
After driving back from Melbourne, I still had time to take in the views of the city from the Rialto Towers observation deck, which offers a stunning 360-degree panorama of Melbourne and its surrounds, and at 253 metres is the tallest office building in the Southern Hemisphere. And I spotted the impressive Crown Casino.
All right. 17.
You can celebrate your winnings with champagne,